all the people who said Shakur Stevenson is ducking Gervonta Davis just had their arguments get a little bit stronger as news comes out about Shakur's next move. And it's not what many people thought it would be. And since it's not what many people thought it would be, the justification shifts. And again, looks like somebody may be trying to wait out this fight with Gervonta. And the duck argument, like I said, just got a little bit stronger. Let's go through the logic and the facts in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, if you've been listening, you know that I'm a fan of Gervonta Davis. I'm a fan of Shakur Stevenson, and I've been trying my absolute best to be as neutral as I possibly can be in this situation, as conversations have obviously been going on in the boxing world about when the two of them will fight, why the two of them are not fighting next, and who's to blame. Many people that come by my live stream, Franz Kafka, not the actual author, but somebody that uses his name on YouTube, and Phoenix the Assassin and others have been calling and saying Shakur Stevenson is just a duck and he doesn't want the fight. Well, when it was thought that Shakur was going to deal with Turki Al-Sheikh, the person that works with the public investment fund in Saudi Arabia and has been putting a lot of money into boxing events, when people thought it was he who was going to work with Shakur Stevenson, people said, okay, well, it's the money. But now that we find out that it is Matchroom, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom that Shakur is signed with, well, that changes it, because it's clearly not going to be the money that he's going to be getting per fight, because Eddie Hearn had said that he wasn't going to be paying ridiculous amounts of money for Shakur Stevenson for guarantees for fights. Now, maybe there are some fights that are lined up that are where Turkey's going to pay the bill, the PIF is going to pay the bill, but still, it's not a scenario like Terrence Crawford's where Shakur Stevenson is dealing directly with Turki Al-Sheikh, from what we understand, and the money's going to get deposited in his bank therefrom. Now you're talking about a middleman, which is going to cost you more money, and a middleman that operates typically off of a budget from DAZN. However, in this first card, he will be fighting in Saudi Arabia, I do believe, on the undercard of Arthur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol's fight for undisputed at light heavyweight. However, it doesn't take away the questions of exactly why it is that he decided to do that versus just signing with Top Rank. Top Rank actually has more fights available for Shakur Stevenson than does Matchroom. Matchroom at 135 pounds, from what I know, only has Andy Cruz. And I don't know what else they have at lightweight besides Andy Cruz. Not a rich stable of fighters there. I'm sorry. Joe Cordina, who just moved from 130 pounds to 135 pounds to fight Shakur Stevenson. So, yeah, not a particularly exciting fight for fight fans. And again, not at least from the outside looking in, as lucrative a deal as people had suspected it was. So is it really about not wanting to wait for the Gervonta Davis fight? Or is it about him getting several fights under this contract? Because if he is fighting with Matchroom, and what are you going to wind up having? You're going to wind up having him fighting several Joe Cordina-like fighters, because that's what happens when people sign with Matchroom. You're going to get some older fighters that Matchroom can kind of pull, that are not big concerns to other promoters, so that you can get kind of those type of mismatches. I envision something similar to what took place when Devin Haney had signed to Matchroom. It was only when Devin Haney left Matchroom and Matchroom wouldn't pay for the George Kambosos fight did he really get his big fights. So I don't really see that it's going to be much of a different situation with Shakur and Matchroom. So 3-4 fights, you get your money, and then you jump out of there and go to Gervonta Davis. Maybe that's the plan, but still, I think that it is a plan where he's going to get several fights in. Now, people may say, well, Eddie Hearn will pay for the fight. Eddie Hearn will get the fight, the fights done with the other lightweights in that division, the William Zepedas, the Gervonta Davis, right? I don't know, because you really, unless, again, Turki Al-Sheikh is paying the bill for a particular fight, I don't really know where, even to date, even now, even with Turki Al-Sheikh paying the bill, where Eddie Hearn is really putting his fighters at big time risk on those cards. The only time I've seen Eddie Hearn do it is when it was been a mandatory type of situation. Ever since Kell Brook and Errol Spence going to fight Kell Brook and beating Kell Brook over there in the UK, Eddie's been a little bit more slow on throwing his big name fighters out there, and have been going more for longevity and fights over time. So again, this bolsters the argument that Shakur Stevenson is trying to get away from Gervonta Davis. And it is an unfortunate admission that I must make, seeing as I have already been taking so much abuse over my support for Shakur Stevenson from you Gervonta Davis fans ever since we found out that Gervonta would not be fighting Vasily Lomachenko next, and the next best fight, or the actual best fight even before that, was the Shakur Stevenson fight. But please let me know what you think in the comments section. Who's ducking who? Is this just something that's going to come around and work itself out? Let me know what you think. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.